group asked the teacher, "Do you have a library?" And her face lit up and she smiled and she said, "No, but we'd love to." Her name was Int'l. I could see from the books in the school, the textbooks were very old, very worn, because they don't replace them very often. But how hard can this be? We'll get some books donated and we'll ship them over there so they can have a library. We're mailing books through the post office. We would mail 35-pound boxes, and it would take 4 to 5 weeks to get there, but they got there. There's no rural delivery over there. The teachers didn't understand they needed to go to the post office and pick them up. We became aware of an opportunity to ship containers, and we partnered with an organization that has warehouses full of books. They're called Books for Africa. They've been around for 33 years. They have shipped over 55 million books to all 55 countries in Africa. The teachers in Kenya fill out an order form for what kind of books they want. We turn that into Books for Africa. They load the container according to what the teachers have said that they wanted. They arrange the ocean freight shipping. From Savannah, it goes on a ship, arrives at Mombasa, which is the eastern side of Africa, and then it's trucked to a warehouse that we have in a little town called Kitui. Once it arrives in Kitui, it's ours. But they all have to be unloaded. The boxes are empty. All the books have to be stamped, not for sale. That's a Kenyan government requirement. She'll run a truck and a driver, and they will transport the books to a location central in that county. And then she hires motorcycle drivers to deliver the books. So you put 2 or 3 boxes of books, generally weighing about 35 pounds each, on the back of a motorcycle, because these schools are very remote, they're very rural. I mean, a lot of times these kids walk 4 to 6 kilometers just to get to school. And of course, then back home. What I'm trying to do is create reference libraries, not textbooks. There are Kenyan textbooks. For the youngest kids, they're storybooks, some of the cutest kids I have ever seen in my life. And one of the teachers told me that the kids are coming in early to read, and it has encouraged them to learn English. It creates a reference library not only for students, but for teachers who can broaden their knowledge. Parents were coming in the evening for additional instruction now that they had books. In one school, Marathile, they had no books, no supplies of any kind. So the teacher was teaching them English by drawing pictures on sheets of cloth with, fruit, different types of furniture, a tree, the human body, to teach them English. That's all he had. Boys and girls. There was a girl, Sophie, told me she wanted to be a lawyer. Some of them wanted to...
I would like to be a banker.
A pilot. I want to become a neurosurgeon.
To be a journalist.
Those kids in those rural schools are just as smart as anybody else.
Well, we interact with each other. If someone's shy about something, you just tell your friends. And we've been taught by these amazing teachers that don't be shy just because you met someone for the first time.
But they just need some tools to work with so that they can reach whatever their ambitions are.
I grew up in rural Kenya. My family, I am one of 8 children. We don't have electricity. Just use fire for lighting. The very first time that I ever had my own storybook, and that was when I was in 6th grade. He had other books where we could read, and I would use the encyclopedia to that, and I ended up being really good, especially in chemistry and biology, to be able to read when they're young and to be able to have a vision of education. I want to go to college. Opens those children's minds to a whole new world of possibilities.
It is our school motto.
It was a good example. They have a corrugated sheet roof, tin roof. It's all rusted out. It was all rusty. The buildings look run down. The classrooms, the desks are made out of basically 2x4s. The classrooms were actually where the kids stayed overnight. The girls got mattresses, the boys got the floor. I can see where libraries for kids could go anywhere in the world where there are rural schools that have little or no electricity or internet access to bring them books. Our next step is to try to supply all of the rural schools in Kenya. To ship a container is $19,000 from the warehouse in Marietta to our warehouse in Katoon. And so once it arrives at our warehouse, then it costs us, depending on how far away the schools are, $5,000 to $6,000 to get the books delivered. Receiving, stamping, processing, sorting, and delivery of the books requires a lot of people. Where are you getting the money? And I said, well, right now it's all individual donors. Not huge amounts, but we've got a lot of supporters, and I think as people have grown confident that we are doing what we say we're going to do. We have no paid staff here. It's all volunteer. One of the things that I'm very proud of, I can say to a donor, 100% of your donation will go into the program of getting books to these kids.